What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best NBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now don't forget to like this video as it does let me know to continue to give you free picks every day. So make sure to like this video clicking that button down below. And if we get 600 likes, I will do another video for tomorrow. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. And as you guys see, we actually got 22 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got 2 picks wrong and got 22 right, which is a 95% win rate. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 95% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 95% win rate and get 22 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which will be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure you join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $750 just yesterday. Another member who won $337 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout to Messiah Dominguez who said let's go, and it shouts out to ASMR 10XO official who said you the man. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. When it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're talking about is none other than Dyson Daniels, and this one is for 0.5 3-pointers made, and this one actually is for less. Now looking at Dyson Daniels, we have seen him actually go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now looking at those 5 games, see on November 23rd faced off against New Orleans Pelicans, had 0 3-pointers made there. November 24th faced off against Charlotte, had 1 3-pointer made. Then 1 3-pointer made against Washington on November 26th. Then November 29th faced off against Cleveland, had 0 3-pointers made there. And then 0 3-pointers made against Philadelphia on December 1st. So it definitely has been an interesting time for Dyson Daniels. We have seen him go on the under, as I've mentioned, in 3 out of the last 5, but his average over the last 5 is also 0.40. So it is slightly below this line. As you can definitely tell, Dyson Daniels doesn't really have that high of a usage rate in the 3-point department. And that's a big reason why we do like the under for it. But looking at their matchup, we do know that Atlanta have themselves a very good matchup against none other than Detroit Pistons. So it is definitely going to be an exciting game there. Now looking at both of these teams, starting off with Atlanta. Atlanta come in at the 5th spot in the Eastern Conference. They actually have a record of 13 wins and 8 losses. That's a 61.9% win percentage there. 4-4 from home, 9-4 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now looking at this matchup, we do also know that the Atlanta Hawks face off against the Detroit Pistons, where we do see that Detroit Pistons find themselves in a really good position because they actually rank number 1 when it comes to the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 16 wins and also 14 losses, so that's an 80% win percentage there. They're also 7-2 from home, 8-2 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very interesting to see. Now obviously looking at Atlanta and Detroit, it's definitely going to be a battle between some top teams in the Eastern Conference for sure. But looking at Detroit defensively and where they do rank, we do see that Detroit Pistons do rank when it comes to 3-point percentages allowed. We see that they rank 22nd. 3-point attempts allowed, we see that Detroit rank 11th, and then 3-point makes allowed, we actually do see that Detroit Pistons rank 15th. So they rank pretty mid to high tier when it actually comes to the 3-point categories, whether it's percentage, makes, or even attempts. But coming into this matchup, we do very much like the under for this situation for someone like Dyson Daniels, due to the fact that Dyson Daniels just doesn't have that high of a usage rate in the 3-point department. Now he definitely has hit a 3, against Washington, against Charlotte, but we do believe those, kind of games are outlier type games. It's brought this line a little bit too high that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this one. For someone like Dyson Daniels, yes, he has done a fantastic job for sure, but when it comes to his game. He doesn't rely on 3 points, and he definitely doesn't take a lot of attempts as well. So especially against a team like Detroit, who do rank pretty decently. They're not the best, but they still rank definitely enough for someone like Dyson, who doesn't really have the highest usage rate in the 3-point department. We are expecting Atlanta to rely on other players to take 3-point shots, in this Atlanta, Hawks team. So coming into this, we do very, very much like the under. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well. But we also do see, when we look on a per position basis, Detroit Pistons do a great job at restricting 3-pointers to, Dyson Daniels' position. So definitely taking all those things into consideration, we do very much like the under for this one. So Dyson Daniels, 0.5 3-pointers made for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Isaiah Stewart. So Isaiah Stewart, great player, as we all know. Now, this one is a fantastic one because this one is for actually points for 7.5, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Isaiah Stewart, we have seen him go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see on November 23rd, faced off against Milwaukee Bucks. Had 7 points there, had 9 points against Indiana on November 25th, then against Boston Celtics on November 27th, had 6 points there, 8 points against Orlando Magic on November 29th, and then November 30th faced off against Miami and had 9 points in that matchup. So it's definitely been interesting to see. Obviously Isaiah doesn't have the highest usage rate when it comes to points, but we still have seen him go on the under in 2 out of the last 5. And his average over the last 5 is also 7.8. So very, very interesting to see. Now, coming into this matchup, we do know that Detroit face off against the Atlanta Hawks, which we just recently touched on. Now, just to quickly remind you all again, when it comes to this matchup, we do know Detroit Pistons have the #1 spot in the Eastern Conference. They have surprised a lot of people. Yes, they were a great team last season, but they definitely have surprised everyone because they take that #1 spot with 16 wins and also 4 losses. 80% win percentage there, 7-2 from home, 8-2 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, they face off against, as we mentioned before, Atlanta Hawks, where Hawks find themselves in somewhat of a decent position. They rank 5th in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 13 wins, 8 losses, a 61.9% win percentage there, 4-4 from home, 9-4 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very interesting to see for Atlanta Hawks. Now, it's definitely been an exciting time, for both of these teams, as they are definitely pushing to stay in that top 5, both of them, Detroit and Atlanta. But coming into this next matchup, it is going to be a matchup between some top teams, and looking at where actually Atlanta Hawks do rank when it comes to points allowed, we do see that Atlanta Hawks do rank 16th when it comes to points allowed. So they rank pretty decent, nothing really too crazy. However, the reason why we still do like the under for this situation here is when it comes to Atlanta Hawks, we actually see that they do a fantastic job at restricting points to the big man position. So whether that's power forward, whether that's center, we definitely see someone like Isaiah Stewart going on the under in this case. And on top of that, we also do know that, Isaiah Stewart is definitely a big man who does, yes, have somewhat of a usage rate in points, but he doesn't have the highest usage rate. 7.5 points isn't that high of a line. It definitely does show that his usage rate in the points department is very, I would say, situational, in a sense that he isn't one of the go-to scorers for this Detroit team. He usually gets buckets off tip-ins, off alleys, those sort of situations. And yes, he has faced off against much easier teams over the last 5. He has been able to go on the over in a couple of them, but now we see a lot more value to go on the under, as it has brought this line a little bit too high now. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for someone like Isaiah Stewart coming into this matchup. And looking at someone like Stewart for, this matchup against Atlanta, we definitely do like the under, as when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies agree with us there. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this one. His average over the last 5, yes, it is 7.8, so slightly above it. But as we always mention, matchups. That's what's most important. And with a matchup like this, we should see Isaiah Stewart go on the under. So Isaiah Stewart, 7.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about Tim Hardaway Jr. So, as you all know, Tim Hardaway Jr., great player. Now, this one is a great one for actually 2.5 rebounds, and this one is for less. Now looking at Tim Hardaway, we actually have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. So looking at November 22nd against Houston Rockets, we saw him have 3 rebounds in that matchup. Then November 23rd faced off against Sacramento Kings, had 1 rebound there, 2 rebounds against Memphis Grizzlies on November 25th. And then November 29th faced off against San Antonio Spurs, actually had 2 rebounds there. And then November 30th faced off against Phoenix Suns and had 3 rebounds in that matchup. So we actually have seen Tim Hardaway Jr. go on the under, as we mentioned, in 3 out of the last 5. But his average over the last 5 is also 2.2. So very, very interesting to see. Now, obviously, coming into this matchup, it is definitely going to be an exciting one. But we do know that Tim Hardaway Jr. and the Denver Nuggets have themselves a matchup against the Dallas Mavericks. So it is definitely going to be an exciting game. Now looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets come in at the number 4th spot in the Western Conference. So they've done a fantastic job so far. The West battle has definitely been tough. And you know, right now they do sit at 4th, but they are creeping into that 3rd and 2nd slot as well, because they actually have a record of 14 wins and 5 losses. So they have a 73.7% win percentage there. They are also 6-3 from home, also 8-2 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So they've done a fantastic job there. And looking at their matchup, they face off against the Dallas Mavericks. Now, Dallas Mavericks, as we all know, have definitely struggled quite a bit so far this season. They find themselves in a position where they rank 12th in the Western Conference, but also have a record of 6 wins, 15 losses, a 28.6% win percentage there. Also 4-9 from home, 2-5 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, looking at someone like Tim Hardaway Jr., it is definitely going to be an exciting time ahead, because we do know that Tim Hardaway Jr. does face off against a Dallas Mavericks team that, although they don't really rank too well when it comes to, you know, the Western Conference, we do actually see that Dallas Mavericks do actually rank, you know, when it comes to rebounds allowed. They do actually rank 28th, but where it gets interesting is that Dallas Mavericks, although they rank 28th when it comes to rebounds allowed when it comes to the overall team, we do see that when it comes to Dallas Mavericks, they do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds to Tim Hardaway's position. So it definitely does throw a lot of people off when we do definitely discuss that, because when we look on a team basis, it is a different story to a per position basis, and that is definitely what we are focused on in this case. You know, Dallas Mavericks, we are expecting them to put the pressure on Tim Hardaway Jr. and his position when it comes to rebounding and try to restrict him as much as they can. You know, like we mentioned with Tim Hardaway, he does play usually that small forward, sometimes shooting guard, and even sometimes power forward at times, but mainly small forward and shooting guard. And with the shooting guard and the small forward that Dallas Mavericks have, you know, they are great defensive and high rebounding sort of forwards or wings, and it's definitely going to have a huge effect on Tim Hardaway's rebounding percentage. Now, when we look at Tim Hardaway as well over the last 5, some of the games he has been able to go on the over on was definitely against matchups where, you know, they are very poorly defensive rebounding teams. So we definitely have seen him take advantage of that, but coming into this next one against Dallas Mavericks, who actually do a great job at his position, we definitely see, unfortunately, Tim Hardaway struggling there. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this one. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well, so that works out in our favor there. So Tim Hardaway Jr., 2.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines, so here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Nicola Vucevic. So as you all know, Vucevic, fantastic player for the Chicago Bulls, and he's done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 16.4 points, 9.8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and has also had a 49% field goal percentage. So he's done a fantastic job there for the Bulls. We actually see him come in at the 57th spot when it comes to points, 12th spot when it comes to rebounds, 66th spot when it comes to assists, and 52nd when it comes to field goal percentage. So we definitely have seen him do a fantastic job over, you know, this season so far. And the Bulls themselves find themselves in a very good matchup against none other than Orlando Magic. Now, it is going to be an exciting game between both of these teams. Now, both are in the Eastern Conference, and seeing where both of these teams do lie, starting off with the Magic. Magic come in at the actual, sixth spot in the Eastern Conference. So they've actually done a fantastic job there. Now, not only do they come sixth in the Eastern Conference, but they have a record of 12 wins, 8 losses, a 60% win percentage there, 7-3 from home, 5-5 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So it's definitely been an exciting time for Orlando Magic. They definitely are coming into this game hoping to get another win under their belt and continue their win streak, but they face off against a Bulls team who got off to a hot start but have found themselves falling down the ladder, where they currently rank 10th in the Eastern Conference. Now, they have a record of 9 wins and 10 losses. That's a 47.4% win percentage there. And on top of that, they are also 6-2 from home, 3-8 from away, and are currently on a 3-game losing streak. So it has been a little bit tough for the Bulls. They have tried to fight their way back, so it is definitely going to be an interesting matchup for sure. But they have tried their best, and coming into this next matchup, it is definitely going to be an exciting one, because we do know that, actually Nicola Vucevic, Chicago Bulls, faced off against an Orlando team who do rank, when we start off with points allowed, they rank 10th. When it comes to assists allowed, we see that Orlando Magic rank 3rd, and then rebounds allowed, they do rank 7th. So they actually rank very, very good when it comes to restricting, points, rebounds, and assists. And that's why coming into this matchup, we do very much like the actual under for this situation here for someone like Vucevic. Now, Vucevic is a great player, do not get me wrong, but what we have seen with Vucevic is that when it comes to his usage rate, especially against tougher defensive matchups, we are definitely expecting the under, for this situation here, as we do expect Vucevic's kind of usage rate to suffer coming into this game. Now, looking at Vucevic so far this season, we have seen him do a great job. Do not get me wrong, but we also do see is that when it comes to Vucevic over the last 5 games, we do see on the 20th faced off against Portland, actually had a 122-121 win with 27 points, 2 assists, 8 rebounds there. On the 22nd faced off against Miami, had a 143-107 loss with 6 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. After that, on the 23rd faced off against Washington, had a 121-120 win with 28 points, 2 assists, 12 rebounds. Then on the 29th, faced off against Charlotte, had a 123-116 loss with 13 points, 3 assists, and also 14 rebounds. Then on the 30th, faced off against Indiana Pacers, had a 103-101 loss with 16 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds there. So it's definitely been interesting to see. Now, obviously, coming into this matchup, we have definitely seen that Nicola Vucevic is in a situation where, they have definitely struggled, and Vucevic has definitely tried to bring this team back. But coming into this matchup against Orlando, who not only just do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists, but also do a great job at restricting those things to the center position, we definitely see someone like Nicola going on the under here. So I don't think you need to focus on any specific line. I think all definitely have the capability to go on the under. So just keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too, close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under there. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Cameron Johnson. So Cameron Johnson, great player for the Denver Nuggets, and he's done a fantastic job so far this season, actually averaging 11.2 points, 3.4 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Has also had a 47.3% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a fantastic job there for his new team, the Denver Nuggets. And we are expecting him to come into this game and see if he can definitely, continue to be a very big asset for this roster. But the Denver Nuggets find themselves in a matchup against none other than actually the Dallas Mavericks. So it is going to be an exciting game for sure, looking at both of these teams. However, looking at where both of these teams do rank, now both are in the Western Conference, but looking at it more in depth, we do see, starting off with the Nuggets find themselves in the actual 4th spot in the Western Conference, so it has been interesting there. Not only that, but they also have 14 wins, 5 losses, a 73.7% win percentage there. Also 6-3 from home, 8-2 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very, very very interesting to see coming into that matchup. Now, looking at, the Nuggets and the Western Conference, we have seen him do a fantastic job, but we also do know they face off against a Dallas Mavericks team who has definitely struggled, as Dallas Mavericks come in at the 12th spot in the actual Western Conference, and they also have a record of 6 wins, 15 losses, a 28.6% win percentage there. And on top of that, they are 4-9 from home, 2-5 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So it's definitely been an interesting time for none other than, Dallas Mavericks. They haven't really gotten off to the greatest start, and they are hoping to continue to push it. But looking at this matchup, we do also know when it comes to Cameron Johnson, we do see, and the Denver Nuggets, we do see that they face off against a Dallas Mavericks team who do rank, starting off with points allowed, they rank 15th. They actually rank 5th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed. We see that the Dallas Mavericks, unfortunately, also rank pretty poorly there, as they rank 28th. So they surprisingly rank very well in assists, very poor in points and rebounds, and that's why coming into this matchup, we do like the over for someone like Cameron Johnson, but in the points and rebounds department. Now, it also does kind of work out for us there, because when you look at Cameron Johnson, he does have a higher usage rate in the points and rebounds compared to assists. And the way he does play, he isn't really a playmaker. He's more of a scorer, more of being that great forward that they need to get those rebounds. So that's why it is definitely working out in our favor there, which is why we do like the over, but strictly for those two categories. Now, when we look at actually Cameron Johnson and the Denver Nuggets, we have seen him do a great job, but also Dallas Mavericks do struggle at restricting points and rebounds to the forward position, so that definitely helps our case there. But we do also know when it comes to this matchup, we do know, looking at Cameron Johnson over the last 5 games, we saw on the 22nd faced off against Houston, had a 112-109 win with 9 points, 1 assist, 5 rebounds there. On the 23rd faced off against Sacramento, had a 128-123 loss with 20 points, 4 assists, and also 5 rebounds. After that, on the 25th, faced off against Memphis, had a 125-115 win with 18 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. Then on the 29th, faced off against San Antonio Spurs, had a 139-136 loss with 28 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. Then 15 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds with a 130-112 win against Phoenix on the 30th. So it's definitely been an interesting time for Cameron Johnson. We have seen him do a great job, do not get me wrong. And on top of that, we also have seen him do a really good job at actually, getting buckets, also getting rebounds against much easier defenses. So coming into this matchup against a Dallas team who have definitely struggled so far this season, struggled defensively, we definitely see someone like Cameron Johnson going on the over here. But I do also have to mention, when it comes to this matchup, we are expecting Mavs to really push the pace. Now, this Mavs team does like to play fast-paced type basketball, a little bit faster as well compared to actually, Denver Nuggets. And that's why coming into this game, we are expecting, Dallas to actually push the pace, and more pace means more volume and more opportunity to score and rebound. So for that reason, we do very much like the over for this situation here. So keep an eye out for Cameron Johnson's line in the points and rebounds department. I see a lot of value there to go on the over in those two categories. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about Grayson Allen. So Grayson Allen, great player, as we all know, for none other than Phoenix Suns. And he's done a fantastic job, averaging 17.9 points, 2.9 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and has also had a 46.2% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a great job there. Now, looking at Grayson Allen, we do know, and the Phoenix Suns, they face off against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, it is going to be an exciting matchup for sure between both of these teams, but looking at where both of these teams do lie, starting off with the Suns. Suns find themselves in a really good position. They currently rank 7th in the actual Western Conference. They have a record of 12 wins and 9 losses. That's a 57.1% win percentage there. And on top of that, they are 8-4 from home, 4-5 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So very, very interesting to see. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also know they face off against a Lakers team who have also done a very good job, because Lakers come in at the 2nd spot in the Western Conference. They have a record of 14 wins, 4 losses, a 77.8% win percentage there, 6-2 from home, 8-2 from away, and are currently on a 6-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now, obviously, looking at this matchup, we do also know that, Grayson Allen Allen does face off against a Lakers team where Lakers do actually rank 13th when it comes to points allowed. When it comes to assists allowed, we also see that they do rank, surprisingly in a somewhat lower position as they rank 21st. And then rebounds allowed, we actually do see that the Lakers rank second. So they actually rank very well in points and rebounds, assists a little bit lower. But coming into this matchup, we do very, very much actually like the, under for this situation here for someone like Grayson Allen, but strictly in the points and rebounds department. And that is strictly due to the fact that, as I mentioned before, Lakers do rank a little bit worse in that assist category. So I definitely would stay away from there. But I think points and rebounds is definitely going to be something to keep an eye out for, especially for someone like Grayson Allen, due to the fact that he doesn't have the highest usage rate in the rebounding department as well. Now, Grayson Allen has been a great scorer for this team, do not get me wrong. And yes, he has rebounded here and there. But coming into this matchup, we do very, very much still like the under, as when we look at actually Los Angeles Lakers position-wise, we do see that Grayson Allen does a fantastic job at restricting, we actually do see that Los Angeles Lakers do a fantastic job at restricting Grayson Allen's position. So we are expecting that to have a huge effect there. Now, when we look at Grayson Allen over the last 5 games, he saw in the 9th faced off against LA Clippers, had a 114-103 win with actually 14 points, 3 assists, 0 rebounds there. On the 11th, faced off against New Orleans Pelicans, had a 121-98 win with 42 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Then on the 13th, faced off against Dallas, had a 123-114 win with 23 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds there. On the 14th, faced off against Indiana, had a 133-98 win with 12 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound in that matchup. Then on the 30th, faced off against Denver, had a 130-112 loss with 10 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound there. So it's definitely been interesting to see. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also know that Grayson Allen and the Phoenix Suns, face off against a Lakers team who, like I mentioned, does a great job defensively. But we have seen Grayson as well over the last 5 games. He definitely does struggle against tougher defensive matchups, and unfortunately we are expecting that to be a similar situation coming into this next game. On top of that, Grayson, although he is a great player, he isn't, I would say, the main player for this team. And with a matchup like Lakers who do a great job defensively, we are expecting, unfortunately, Grayson Allen's usage rate to be taking a massive hit and a bit of a dip, as the other bigger star players in this Phoenix Suns roster will probably do a lot more, when it comes to scoring, rebounding, and even playmaking. So unfortunately, Grayson may definitely see a decrease to his usage right there, and that's definitely taken into consideration and why we do like the under for it. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for someone like Grayson Allen coming into this next matchup. See a lot of value there to go on the under, especially the line is too close to his averages.